welcome to the scale of the day. So scales are really important to our repertoire in piano, and what I mean by that is they're just really helpful to gain some technique and to just understand about music in general. So we are going to check out the G major scale. I taught the C major scale, so if you want to check that out in this video here, you can certainly do that. The C major scale uses all the white keys, and what we are going to do today is talk about the G major scale, which uses one of the black keys and mostly white keys. So I'm going to use the C major scale as a reference. So first of all, the C note, that is the note right before the set of two black keys. And like I said before, if I play a C note and I play all white keys, and I go from C to the next C, which is right here, because that's the set of two black keys, well, that creates the C major scale. Now, a major scale is a collection of whole and half steps. And a whole step is if I go from this note to this note, that's a whole step. If I go from this note to this note, that's a half step. So if we think of, half of a pizza and another half of a pizza, if you put them together, that would make a whole pizza, right? Well, music is very similar. When we go from this note to this note, that's a half step. If we go from this note to this note, that's also a half step. So if I skip this black key and I just go from here to here, that would create a whole step because I've gone from half to get to this note. Now, a major scale is a collection of whole and half steps. And it just so happens that if I start on C and I go to C and I play all the white keys, it creates the sound of a major scale. And the collection of whole steps and half steps are whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. I'm not too worried about you memorizing the whole, whole, half thing. But it's important to understand and kind of see where this is going. Now, if I start on G and I play to G, I play all white keys. Let's see what it sounds like. It doesn't quite have the same sound. So there's something that we need to do in order to make this scale sound major. And what we have to do is start to add in some black keys. So when we play a G major scale, this note right here is going to be changed. We're going to not use that note, and we're going to use the first black key of the set of three instead. So I will play all white keys except for this one note here, which we would call an F sharp. So if I start on G, there we go. Now it sounds like a major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So that's the G major scale. And of course we play it with our finger two the whole way, right? No. Oh my word. No, we definitely do not play every single note with just your pointer finger. That's pretty inefficient. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We want to get all of the fingers involved. And if you learned the C major scale with me, you would have found out that we do this type of fingering for C major. We go 1, 2, 3, and then we cross under to play the F. And then we continue on there. So play 1, 2, 3, cross under. This is a much better way to play any major scale or minor scale or any scale really, is to have really good fingering. We don't just want to use one finger the whole time. That doesn't help us very much. Now, this is going to be a little more difficult to master. But once you master it, it makes it much easier to play the major scale. Now, that was the C major. Let's get to the G major. The G major scale will have the same exact fingering, meaning that we will play finger 1, 2, 3, and then cross under to hit a target note. When using this fingering, I always look for the target that we're trying to hit. And when we're playing the G major scale, G, A, B, C is going to be the target. And what that means is we're trying to get this thumb to hit that target. Because once we hit that target, then we'll be in position to easily play the rest of the scale. So the trick is in this movement. Hit the target, and then finish out the scale. And boom, you have the G major scale. So let's try this together. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, cross under, target, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you would play going up. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, target. Super sweet. One thing you might be noticing is after I play the thumb, and I start to go to the others, this thumb is going to start working its way over to the target. This is super important. We do want to get that finger underneath and moving towards the target before it has to play it. If you were to just have the thumb hang out here, and then when it's time to get to that target note, all of a sudden go, oh no! And it has to get over there? Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's going to create some movement that we don't really want. And it's also going to make it unlikely that your thumb is going to hit its target because it didn't make its way over there. So we want to get it moving over to that target and then finish out the rest of the scale. Super sweet. Then when we go down, we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want to make sure you get through every single finger before we get to this next part. A lot of the times I will see kids and adults, they'll start to move the fingers before they get through these 5 fingers. So just make sure you get through all 5 fingers. And then we're going to hit another target. Finger 3 is going to hit that note, the B note, which is the target note on the way down. So we go 5, 4, 3, get finger 3 ready to cross over to hit the target, and then you'll finish out the rest of the scale. So it's the exact opposite of what we did going up. Going up, we went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going down, we went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. For the left hand, I like to start with the G note here, which was the same G note that we started with in the right hand. So we're going to start with the G here, and we're going to work our way down. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, cross under, just like we did here. Right, we're crossing under and going up. So here we're going down, but the fingering is going to be the same. 1, 2, 3 under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Something super sweet to try out is both hands together. We go like this. It sounds pretty cool. It looks pretty complicated too, but it's really not too complicated. You just have to make sure that your fingers are in position for those black keys. So just watch out for those black keys. We call this performing the scale in contrary motion, meaning that one hand is going up while the other hand is going down. And what's nice about this is the fingers are moving at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's part of what makes this version of contrary motion a little bit easier versus having both hands play in parallel motion. So parallel motion is when the notes are moving they're moving in that motion. So parallel motion is a little bit more difficult because the fingers are going to be flipping at different times. I'm not too worried about being able to do that yet. I would say if you can master doing the right hand by itself, the left hand by itself, and then doing contrary motion, that'll be great. And then you can try parallel motion. I'll show it to you. So basically what will happen is we will start with different fingers. Now we're playing the same notes. We're both playing G's on the left and right hand, but we're using different fingers. So here we'd go up. Right hand switches first. Left hand continues with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then the left hand is going to flip over. Then when you go down, the left hand goes first. So the left hand will flip under, and then the right hand will flip over. So that's where you would want to get to. It's a little bit more difficult. It's going to take some time. If you work on hands separate, work on hands in contrary motion, that's going to help get your fingering down. And then you can start to tackle with when to move when doing parallel motion. That's going to take a little bit more brain thinking, but that gives you a breakdown of the G major scale. So check out some more scales and other fun piano adventures coming along. Thank you so much.
And make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and visit MrHenrysMusicWorld.com.